Hi YouTube! Thanks for coming back to my channel. It's Chef Summer with She Cooks ATL, and today we're making a Southern classic shrimp and grits with a little twist, my twist. So let's get started. For this recipe, you're going to need clean and deveined shrimp, grits, heavy whipping cream, chicken broth, unsalted butter, smoked Gouda cheese, green scallions, water, chopped garlic, and summer seasoning. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is start our grits. So again, we have 1 cup of water that we're going to add into the pan. Into that, we're also going to add a 1/2 cup of chicken broth. We're also going to add to that a 1/2 cup of grits. Then we're going to whisk that together and we're going to let that start to cook. These are stone ground grits and they do take a little longer to cook, but if all you have is the instant or fast cooking grits, that's fine too. Use whatever you have. So we're just going to switch eyes here. We've got the stove on medium heat. We're going to let the grits cook. While the grits are cooking, we're going to start on our shrimp. So we have our shrimp here and we're just going to season them with summer seasoning. That's a mix of seasoning that I use for all my cooking. I call it my house blend, but you can use anything that you want. But it will be for sale on the website at the beginning of the year. So to the pan, we're just going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil and 1 tab of butter. I like to do both because the olive oil is going to be able to hold the heat without burning and the butter is going to add a lot of flavor. So we're just going to wait for that to melt a little. Then we're going to add the shrimp to the pan. So we're going to saute these shrimp until they turn pink and they start to curl and make the letter C for cooked. So the shrimp have been cooking. They're looking beautiful. They're pink. They're the letter C. They're done. So this took about 4 to 5 minutes depending on the size of your shrimp. I've got pretty big shrimp, so it took a little bit longer. So I got a clean plate and I'm just going to remove the shrimp from the pan. So what we're going to do now is make the sauce that I like to make to go with my grits, and this is my little twist. Now, I'm just going to reduce the heat a little bit just while we're putting together the ingredients. So what I like to do is add in about a tablespoon or so of chopped garlic. And mix that around, and you want to get all those yummy bits off the bottom of the pan because that's all flavor. Then, to this, we're going to add 1 cup of chicken broth. We're going to turn the heat back up to medium to bring this chicken broth to a boil. Now, as you see in the back, I've put a lid on the grits because it only takes you getting popped by grits one time to remember to put your lid on. So as you can see, it's looking really good. They're cooking, they're getting thick. We're just gonna reduce the heat a little bit, maybe down to a 3, and let them continue to cook. Now at this stage, if you see your grits are cooking a little bit too fast and they're starting to get thick, you can always add as much liquid as you need. Whether it's water or chicken broth, it's really up to you, just to thin them back out. So now we're just gonna let this come to a boil and we're gonna reduce it by half. So you let the chicken broth reduce by half. And at this point, it's been reduced, and we're going to add in a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. We're gonna mix this in, and we're gonna season at this point. I'm just gonna add in some summer seasoning, and I would say this is about maybe 2 tablespoons of summer seasoning to this mix. And we're just going to, again, at this stage, let this reduce by half. We're gonna check in on our grits. They're still looking really good. They're still cooking, they're getting thick. We're just gonna let them continue to cook and continue to let them get thick. So the sauce with the cream has reduced to about half. So you can see that it's really thick and good. So we've got one more step. If it wasn't decadent enough with the heavy whipping cream, we're going to add butter. And this is just going to make the sauce really creamy. And let's just be honest, everything is better with butter. So I'm going to do about 3 tabs of butter to start with, and we'll see how that looks. It's very important at this stage to continue to whip because you do not want your sauce to break and separate. So you just want to continue to mix it the whole time. And so you'll see that this is really smooth and creamy and thick. It hasn't separated. It looks really, really, really good. So this looks really, really good. So we're gonna take this off to heat and put it in the back. And we're gonna check our grits, and they should be just about done as well. So we're gonna reduce the heat on the grits again. And we're gonna stand, oh yeah. See, they look really thick and good now. So these grits, the Stone Mill grits, took about 20 to 30 minutes to get to this consistency, and this is exactly what we want. So at this point, we're gonna make Gouda grits. So we're gonna just stir this, and this is Gouda Gouda cheese. I got this out of the deli, but you can also find it in the cheese section of your store. I like the smoked Gouda because it gives it a different taste. So we're just gonna add, I'm gonna add 3 slices of the smoked Gouda into the grits. And this should make your grits really cheesy and smoky and really, really delicious. It's gonna give it a wonderful flavor. And you can see that it's getting really, really thick, and that's exactly what you want. So what we're gonna do now is add a little bit of liquid into this. And again, we're going with the theme. We're going to do heavy whipping cream. I never ever said that this was a healthy alternative for shrimp and grits. It's really decadent and good, but trust me, it's worth every calorie. So we're going to add about 1/3 of a cup of heavy whipping cream to the grits. And as you can see, it thinned it out, but it made it really, really creamy. So we're going to season at this point. Again, we're going to be consistent with our seasoning. We're going to do summer seasoning. And if you don't have summer seasoning, you can also do salt, pepper, garlic, whatever you want to use to season to your preference. It's really up to you. Now, as you can see, we've got a wonderful consistency with our grits. They're super creamy, super cheesy. Now we're going to assemble our shrimp and grits. Now we're going to assemble our grits. So what we're gonna do is ladle in the grits that we made. Now the longer you let them sit, the thicker they'll get. So if you like your grits kind of thick, you wanna let them sit for a little bit longer. I like my grits kind of in between, smooth, thick, and creamy. So then we're going to add our shrimp. And I just like to stack them in the middle, however you like. It's really up to you. Then we're going to add the garlic cream sauce that we made. And we're just gonna kind of do it around the grits and then a little bit on top of the shrimp. And we're gonna take our green scallion that we chopped and we're just going to add it to the top. And there we have our Southern shrimp and grits with a twist. I hope you enjoy. Until next time, bye YouTube.